Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. We are BEI at Penn, or the Brain Exercise Initiative, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So just a little bit more about us. We are a branch of a 501c3 nonprofit with about 80 branches in 4 countries. We are an officially recognized student organization at the University of Pennsylvania, and we're a group of passionate individuals dedicated to helping people just like you. So today we'll be discussing holidays and we'll begin with some trivia about some various holidays. So we'll ask you to first please write down the question first, then the answer. And this is because writing things down activates the prefrontal cortex of the brain. So the first question here that we have is which holiday is observed on December 25th by the Christian faith? And the second holiday is what month-long event in Islam consists of fasting and observance? And we'll give you 1 minute to write down the questions and the answers if you know the answer to either question. Okay, so that's about a minute. So moving on to the answers. What answer to the first question is Christmas, and the answer to the second question is Ramadan. Moving on to the next pair of questions. First, what holiday on the fourth Thursday in November is considered a day of giving? And the second question here is what holiday commemorates the beginning of the new calendar year? So again, we'll give you 1 minute to write down your questions and your answers. So that's about 1 minute. We'll move on to the next pair of questions, but first, let's go over the answers for these two. So number three, the answer is Thanksgiving, and number four, the answer is New Year's Day. The next question is which American federal holiday in September celebrates American workers? And number six is what day in Judaism is a day of fasting and prayer and is the end of the high holy days? Again, if you know the answer to either question, please write it down and we'll give you 1 minute to write down the questions and your answers. So that's about 1 minute. So we'll move on to the answers. So the answers number five was Labor Day, and number six is Yom Kippur. Number seven is what American federal holiday in February celebrates the birthday of George Washington? And number eight is what national holiday in November honors military veterans? Again, if you know the answer to either question, please write down the question and the answer, and we'll give you 1 minute to do so. So that's around 1 minute. So we'll move on to the answers. Answer number 7 was President's Day, and number 8 is Veterans Day. And our final two questions are number 1, which holiday commemorates the founding of the Americans in 14 of the Americas in 1492? And number 10 is which holiday celebrates a civil rights leader's life and legacy? Again, we'll give you 1 minute to answer the questions and also write down the questions. That's around 1 minute. So the answers to these questions are first Columbus Day and then Martin Luther King Day. So now moving on to the math problems section. So we'll give you a series of math problems. Please do these math problems as fast as you can. No matter how long it takes, keep track of your progress. And again, the key is to do as fast as possible these math problems and write down your answers as well. So here is the first set of math problems that we have. Once again, please do them as fast as possible and write down your answers, and we'll give you 1 minute to do so. That's about 1 minute, so we'll move on to the answers to these questions. And once again, don't worry about necessarily getting everyone correct here. Again, we're focusing on trying to do these problems as fast as you can for now. And as you do more of these, you'll get better at them as well. So now we'll move on to the second set of questions that we have for the math section. And now we'll give you 1 minute to try to answer these questions as fast as you can. It was about 1 minute, so we'll move on to the answers for these questions. And again, for now, let's just focus on trying to do these as fast as you can. And as we continue to do these, you'll get better with accuracy and answering them as fast as you can, but also as accurate as you can as well. So that's the end of the math section. And now moving on to the final section, which is the reading exercise. So we're going to ask you to read the following passage out loud. Reading words out loud can increase your visual and verbal memory. And as a guide, I will be reading this passage as well, but we'll ask you to please read this on your own as well. But if you need this guide, that can be helpful, then feel free to also listen to this. So this passage will be about Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is a national holiday celebrated on various states in the US, Canada, Grenada, St. Lucia, and Liberia. It began as a day of giving thanks for the blessing of the harvest and of the preceding year. Similarly named festival holidays occur in Germany and Japan. Thanksgiving is celebrated on the second Monday of October in Canada and on the fourth Thursday of November in the United States and around the same part of the year in other places. Although Thanksgiving has historical roots in religious and cultural traditions, it has long been celebrated as a secular holiday as well. The annual Thanksgiving holiday tradition in the United States is documented as early as in 1619 in what is now called the Commonwealth of Virginia. 38 English settlers aboard the ship Margaret arrived by way of the James River at Berkeley Hundred in Charles City County, Virginia on December 4th, 1619. The landing was immediately followed by a religious celebration, specifically dictated by the group's charter from the London Company. The charter declared that the day of our ship's arrival at the place assigned for plantation in the land of Virginia shall be yearly and perpetually kept holy as a day of thanksgiving to Almighty God. Since the mid-20th century, the original celebration has been commemorated there annually at present-day Berkeley Plantation, the ancestral home of the Harrison family. Thanksgiving in U.S. has been observed on differing dates. Final Thursday in November had become the customary date in most U.S. states by the beginning of the 19th century. Modern Thanksgiving was proclaimed for all states in 1863 by Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's National Thanksgiving by proclamation for the final Thursday in November in celebration of the bounties that continued to fall on the Union and for the military successes in the war. Because of the ongoing Civil War, a nationwide Thanksgiving celebration was not realized until Reconstruction was completed in the 1870s. Thanksgiving, celebrated again on the fourth Thursday in November since 1941, has been an annual tradition in the United States by presidential proclamation since 1863 and by state legislation since the founding fathers of the United States. Traditionally, Thanksgiving has been a celebration of the blessings of the year, including the harvest. On Thanksgiving Day, it is common for Americans to share a family meal, attend church services, and view special sporting events. In addition, Thanksgiving is celebrated in public places with parades, such as Macy's Thanksgiving Parade in New York City. The first day after Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, marks the start of the Christmas shopping season. And that is the end of our reading section and the end of our presentation as well. So I'd like to thank you for following along and keep up the amazing work. If you want to exercise your brain even more, practice writing things down, basic math, and reading out loud as well. Thank you so much for following along, and we'll be in touch in the future, and be on the lookout for future videos from us as well. Thank you so much.